Hey, this is Richard Roop, and welcome to the 5x5 Real Estate Profits Virtual Boot Camp. This is session number 12, and tonight I have with me Coach Mark Hoffman. How you doing?
Hey, Richard, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing awesome.
I'm really excited about tonight's call because, we have had some great feedback on this material over the last 18 months that we've been presenting it. I'm super excited to be a part of tonight's call because, this is the kind of stuff that changes people's lives.
Frank, would you like to go first with me?
Sure.
All right.
Well, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, I guess I was just going to start off then with the leads to deeds, and I got the presentation. The seller presentation and personalized it, and went out on my first trip presentation, and lo and behold, I got a deal on the first time out.
Frank, that's not the first time we've heard that. I mean, that is absolutely awesome, and it's almost unbelievable. And I'm surprised how many people have said that when I had an in-home presentation, and that I was prepared, and then I go to the home and I do the presentation. What do you know? It works, and I got it and did it on the first one. So
that's right. And I told the guy, that this is I just developed this presentation. I don't have it memorized yet, and if you don't mind, I'm just going to read it to you because I don't want you to miss anything. And that's what I've been doing since then. I don't have it committed to memory. I just read it, and sometimes I can delete parts of it that I don't need at that time or it doesn't apply. But that was my initial approach, and I was shocked when he accepted my offer. He accepted the cash offer actually. And I kept trying to convince him to take the other one on seller financing, but no, he needed the cash. And so I ran out to the car and got the contract and came back and got it executed.
Oh, you didn't even bring the contract in with you.
No, that's right. Yeah. I just brought the presentation in with me, but I did have the stuff in the car. So.
Well, that's awesome. So. In Leads to Deeds, you used Keith and Courtney's in-home presentation tool?
That's right.
Okay. And so that allowed you to just kind of walk through all the benefits in the presentation?
That's right. And what I did with it is I put it in about a 1-inch 3-ring binder. And put a Velcro across the bottom of it, so I flipped it open, and then put a Velcro on the bottom so it stands like a triangle, and the Velcro I can just unsnap and fold it back up and take it like a regular 3-ring binder. So and that made it pretty convenient for this.
Did you have cheat notes on the back of the slides?
Oh yes, exactly. That's what I did. I put my script on the back of the next slide.
So like a flip chart.
That's exactly right. So they see their information, and I've got and on the back end is my script that I read.
And so the presentation, do you think the presentation knocks out or answers some of their objections in advance?
Yes, I certainly do. Particularly when it gets to the point of these are like 4 people that we've helped, and in different situations, and I can see some of them are in those situations that I'm talking to, and like waiting for the money and that sort of thing. I think that that's helpful. One other. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, one other comment that I thought was helpful in my presentation is when I showed them the calculations if they would list with the realtor and what the net to the seller would be. I make sure that I impress that this is the net to the seller. This, and I want you to remember what this number is, not what the list price is, because we want to compare apples to apples, and the quotes that I'm going to be making to you are going to be net to you prices also, because we do all the closing costs.
Right. Okay. So you walked them through the different transaction costs that you would normally incur selling traditionally.
With the realtor. Mm-hmm.
And a lot of things that people don't think about. Right.
That's right.
All right.
It's right there in the presentation. Mm-hmm. But what I do is then I personalize it to their deal. I mean, to their the deal I'm working with them on, and use their ARV as the list price, or maybe they have a list price already, and I use their list price or the ARV, and do that net to seller calculation, and ask them to remember that price, because this is what we're going to be comparing to our offers. Right. And that's a lot better, I think, because most of the people are looking at the end prices and when they think our 200 offer is comparing to their 200 sales price, but the 200 sales price with the realtor basically maybe boils down to $140,000 net to them, but then they can compare that to our $200,000 offer. And
right.
And so that's why I say apples to apples. So
okay.
that would be the one addition that I would make.
Okay, so when you joined the Roop Partnership Program, did you already own the free and clear cash machine that's included with it?
Yes, I did.
And so you substituted another course, and then was this the course that you substituted?
No, I don't remember now what the course was that I substituted.
Okay, so but then you got leads.
I think I've got all your programs now.
Okay, so then you got leads to deeds, and so you made an offer on this deal. The ARV is $195, and you offered up to $200 using the ultimate strategy.
Yeah, well, I think it came out to be $199 if I remember correctly.
Okay.
On one of the offers that I was wanting him to take, and he didn't, and he took my $98,000 cash offer.
89.
89. I'm sorry.
Okay, so because you sent me a nice letter here with your first profit share check. Okay.
Oh yeah, I see it now. Okay.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah, and then you sent a copy of the check, and that's $35,500. So you got $35,500 in cash.
Yes.
Okay. Now, how much did it cost you to rehab the property?
Oh no, nothing. I just flipped it to. I just flipped it. As a matter of fact, it was to the guy across the street.
So
and he was an investor also, and he had come to this guy's auctions that he had to sell all the furniture out of the house, and never asked him if he was going to sell the house.
Oh my gosh! All right, so you didn't want the cash offer. You wanted a deal where you didn't have to raise all this money, but you were happy with the cash offer, obviously.
Oh well, that really fit my need because I don't have a private lender, and I didn't have funds available to actually close the deal if he had accepted my seller financing deal. So this one worked out really well.
Did you have any contingencies? Was your offer contingent on raising private money or finding a buyer?
No, it wasn't.
Okay, so you figured this is a great deal, you're gonna get it funded, or you're gonna someone's gonna take this one, and I advertised it to landlords that were in the area. I sent out a little postcard. Our county has a list of landlords
every rental property has to be registered with the county, and I thought that was a real bummer when they first came out with that, because I figured they're going to probably charge us soon for that. But anyway, I accessed the immediate area, like a quarter-mile radius of the property, and I sent I think it was about 50 or 75 landlords a postcard with pictures of the property and what my asking price was. I asked $125,000 for it.
Mm-hmm.
I told it was 195 ARV, and this was like a 65 LTV, and the guy across the street contacted me about it, and we settled in at 122.5.
Awesome. Did you get any other calls?
I got one other call from a realtor, and that was it.
Okay.
I just made the one mailing.
All right. And do you think the buyer who bought this house, now he was living right around there, so do you think he's also a prospect for other deals that you get?
Oh yes. After we closed on this, he asked me to let him know about anything else that comes up. He was before I told him what the actual deal was, I made him agree that that he would be happy with that he was happy with the deal at 122.5, no matter how much I made on it.
Right.
And he admitted that was a good deal, and he was happy with the deal. And then after we closed, he made a couple comments about that I made too much on it, basically.
Well,
so I imagine on my next deal with him, it's going to be a little tougher negotiating.
All right. So, did you did you sign the contract, or did you do a simultaneous closing?
No, I did an assignment. So I had the contract, and so I had the contract with the seller, and so I assigned it
to the buyer.
To the buyer. Actually, we did two assignments. One, the closing agent had me do an assignment with from the seller to the new buyer, and then I had a private one with the seller that put my fee in there.
Okay.
So the seller never saw what my fee was.
Okay, and you got your check out from the closing agent?
No, I got it directly from the seller.
Okay, so he bought your contract for $35,500 or $33,500.
Right. $33,500.
Yeah. And when did he pay you that money?
Right at the closing.
Right at the closing.
Just as the closing ended, we were leaving the room. He handed me the envelope with the check in.
All right.
Cool.
Yeah, that's the challenge with assigning contracts, is your buyer knows what you're making.
Yeah, that's
And that was good. That was great, Frank. You said you're okay. It doesn't matter how much I make. This is a good price, right? That was perfect.
Yes. Yeah, I made him say it several times. And,
That's good. That's good.
Then I told him what he would actually be paying for the house.
And that was great. You actually followed our advice, and you actually mailed to the neighborhood, and you just
You're right.
you figured that landlords in the area, this would be perfect for an investor, so you're mailing landlords in the area.
We had a property of 65% loan to value, and most investors would jump on a 75% loan to value, and so I figured a landlord would have another rental property.
Yep. Yeah. In
hey,
fact,
Frank,
other buyers don't have our same buying criteria. Sometimes they'll pay 80, 85 cents on the dollar. Go ahead, Mark.
Right. Yeah. This sounds like a great deal, Frank. I got a question for you. What market are you in?
I'm in the Franklin County, Ohio, around Columbus.
Oh, near Columbus. Okay, great.
Yeah.
See, what I have heard from a lot of investors across the country is that wholesaling is dead. No one's buying right now.
Mm-hmm.
And this is proof that that's not the case. I mean, you made over $30,000 on an assignment, on a wholesale deal. That's awesome. That is great. I'm really excited about this deal. Congratulations.
Well, thanks. Now he was an investor himself, and he had just bought another property and got a $300,000 HELOC, and that's on that other property, and that's what he pulled this 122.5 from.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So that's how he funded it. He funded it.
Yes, that's how he funded his deal.
Property.
Yeah, with his HELOC on another investment property that he bought.
So how did you find this deal? How did you find the seller?
Well, it came from a U.S. leads list.
Oh,
US leads.
Good. That's awesome.
And with
US
the magic
leads
bonus
list. Wow,
postcard.
that's great. You know what? I've been waiting for people to start reporting deals from U.S. leads list. We're getting good reports about response from U.S. leads list. So this is great. I'm really glad you told us that, because I've just been kind of waiting for this. A lot of people are using that list across the country. It's a great list, usleadslist.com. So it's one we recommend, and I'm glad that you're.
If you go to usleadslist.com, tell them you're with Richard Roop, and they'll give you a break. Did you get a break off your? Did you save on your list, Frank?
Oh yes. Uh-huh.
Okay, because they're kind of expensive leads.
Well, I'm paying about $1.35 for mine.
Yeah.
And they also give you some rebate on the ones that you return. I mean, that they get returned to you as undeliverable.
Oh, that's great.
So that makes you feel a little better when you get when you call in for your next order and say, I got 22 returns, and they say, okay, they just plug it in and give you the discount.
What marketing piece did you send them?
The magic bullet.
The magic bullet postcard, great.
Right.
All right. Well, anything else? Yeah.
Yes. Well, the people that I'm contacting are primarily coming out of probate.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a very, very mature group, and most of them are all free and clear. There have been some that have refinanced, but most of them should be free and clear deals. The people have been very nice. They're very nice to talk with, and I'm really enjoying going to the presentations. I just need to close more. So.
All right. Well,
and I guess I need more. I guess they need some private lending to back me up to really press on those closings. I think I'm holding back just a little bit because I don't have the resources, to close.
Right. Well, we look at the core four. In coaching, we always, looking at a client on the core four, so that's marketing, buying, which is deal structuring and negotiating, and then funding, which is typically private money, also subject to and seller financing, and then selling. And so the marketing, you say you need, what did you say you need? You need more private money.
Right.
What else do you need? More leads?
Well, yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is what I was going to say. Is if someone's not achieving their goals or they want to pump up their goals or whatever, we look at, are you getting enough leads? Okay, and then we look at your closing ratio. Okay, how many of those leads are you going on appointments with? Right, Mark?
Right.
and then how many of those appointments are you converting into deals? And so if you have sufficient leads and you're not closing enough, then you want to work on your negotiation skills. So, all right, and that's why you got leads to deeds.
Right.
So, is it time to review that system again?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Just the repetition, right? Just because
that's right.
It's like you'll think that we actually snuck into your, your house and put in new information in the program next time you listen to it, because you'll hear things you didn't hear before, or you'll also be in a different spot. Doing a deal like this, you learn a lot from it, don't you?
That's right. Mm-hmm.
And it also boosts your confidence, doesn't it?
Oh, definitely.
And your bank account.
Oh, and the bank account. Yeah, this was a lifesaver for me. So I needed that. I had been kind of stagnant in real estate for a while because of what the market was doing and not knowing how to proceed and such. And so your program gave me the confidence to really get fired up again.
Do you think it would be realistic for anybody on this call to set a 90-day goal to put $33,000 in their bank account in 90 days?
Well, you see, for me, it's possible.
It's realistic. It's achievable.
Yeah, it's realistic. It's possible.
Yeah, so you just have to work the program, which is generate the leads, pre-screen the leads, structure the offers, present the offers, close, and then sell, fund. You got to fund. So a big area for you, Frank, would be working on your private money program, right?
That's exactly right. That's what I'm working at now.
Good.
And Keith had sent me a brochure that one of his other students had developed,
mm-hmm.
and I personalized that and I've sent that out to some private lenders that do lending out of their IRA that I found on the county records.
Okay, so did you go to county records and did you look for third-party administrators like Equity Trust Company and Entrust?
That's exactly right.
Isn't that a great strategy?
Well, yes and no.
Yes and no.
Okay, I've been making calls, but no one returns the calls. I sent out letters, well, and with the brochure inside.
No, okay.
Okay, and I'm not, and I got several responses, and also got several callback responses from my phoning, but most people don't respond or call back. But most of these people are investors just like we are, doing private lending from their IRAs to fund their own deals.
To fund their own deals?
To fund their own deals, right.
Okay. Oh, you can't do that.
Well, you can buy a house in your IRA.
Oh. No, but you have another entity that you don't own. You only own 49% of another LLC, and then that LLC can work with your IRA. Yeah, that's arm's length.
Okay, so that's what the custodians say is okay. Like Equity Trust says that's okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what we're talking about is going to public records and search for all of the recent deeds of trust or mortgages that are in the name of that contain the search term Equity Trust Company or Entrust, like that. Because when someone uses their retirement account to fund a deal, it says Equity Trust Company for the benefit of blank IRA.
Right.
So
they would be the grantee, and so you would look at anybody that's associated with the IRA. Would be the grantee or the person who's doing the loan,
right?
Who's making the loan?
Well, Frank, I would. How many people? How big was your list that you mailed to?
Oh, I think this list was about 30, 35.
Okay.
So it's not a massive list,
No, and you're not going to get a massive response.
That's right.
To get a few calls is fine. Okay.
Yeah.
But what you want to do is you want to now put them in your follow-up program because it's such a small list, and I would just hit them with a postcard every month. Just clickthemail.com, just send a little reminder message or whatever, and just set that on autopilot, and these and then occasionally contact them because it's such a small list.
Okay, good idea. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Anything else, Frank?
Well, that's all I can think of at the moment.
Okay. Well, why don't you stay seated? We may have some questions for you. Let's go to Bill next. Bill Schilling. All right. We got Bill is unmuted and Frank is muted. How you doing, Bill?